No time for fake niggas. Just sip some crystal with these real niggas. From east to west coast, spread love, niggas. And while you niggas talk shit, we count bank figures. I got no time for fake niggas. Just sip some crystal with these real niggas. From east to west coast, spread love, niggas. And while you niggas talk shit, we count bank figures. I got no time for fake niggas. Just sip some crystal with these real niggas. From east to west coast, spread love. Niggas talk shit, we count bank figures. Let's go.
I'm mama, Miss Ivana. Usually rock the Prada, sometimes Gabbana. Sticky for your cream and your riches. Jaja Gawd, Demi Moore, Miss Diane, and all them rich bitches. Puff Daddy, pump the Hummer for the summer. I follow in the E-class with the doctor. 96 model, bad clip on the stroll. Cruise control, nothing make a woman feel better. The professors and I'm a veteran, but the legends and mad checkers. Chilling in the beach with my amigos. Trying to stick a nigga for his peso. He say so, and I'm the same chick that you wanna get with. Live up in my twat, got a spot. If not, don't test the boom boom, nani nani, nani nani.
Some crystal with these real niggas. East to west coast, spread love. That's right, you niggas talk shit, we count baby. No time for fake niggas. Just some crystal with these real niggas. East to west coast, spread love. That's right, niggas talk shit, we count baby. How you like it, baby? From the front, from the back, get that ass a smack. Bet your man won't do it like that. Can't work the middle, plus his day too little. Let me grab the tatas, do the cha-cha, make the screen pop-out.
You the best, Dada. Now watch mama. Go up and down, dick the jaw, crazy. Say my name, baby, before you nut. I'ma dribble down your butt cheeks, make you wiggle, and giggle just a little. I'm drinking baby, then I crack for the mistake. Act shady and feel my creation. Or the raging, ooh wee, I see. Your girl ain't a freak like me or Dina. Can't say the rhinoceros is back. Little Kim pussy, how preposterous is that?
No time for fake niggas. Just sip some crystal with these real niggas. East to west coast, spread love. That's right, all you niggas talk shit, we count baby. No time for fake niggas. Just sip some crystal with these real niggas. East to west coast, spread love. That's right, all you niggas talk shit, we count baby. Come on.
Right back at ya, the one clear path drug. Dig it in your scab.
Niggas think they gonna get some bad
No money, money, no licky licky. Fuck the dicky dicky and the picky. Give me your loot, your neck the weapon, then shoot. The game ain't sweet. John Paul Pete shouldn't compete. If you can't wet it, forget it. Don't sweat it, I bet it. Make it come smooth with the legend. You can't stop a bitch from balling. Ha ha, the la la, the drop eyes, they be calling. And you ain't know why you be kicking that old shit. You making big, packing the gold shit. You stay draped in diamonds and pearls. Inside every man is a bad girl.
That's right. 9-6, bad boy, come on.
Inside every man is a bad motherfucking bitch, honey. You better say it, Kim. Say it loud and proud. Inside every man is a bad bitch. Yes, God, honey. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. I really do appreciate it. This is Yes Bitch TV presents the Yes God Roundtable, honey. Welcome to the House of Justice, where truth will always be served. Hello. We have a show for you tonight. Today we'll be talking about dating, relationships, sex, love. We'll also be getting into, finding ourselves. Hallelujah, bitch. I want to introduce the panel for this evening. Okay? Yes. First, we have, what does the cat do, bitch?
Meow. Hey,
yes.
Y'all. How are y'all? It's good to see
What's
y'all. Happy
tea?
Father's Day. Happy Father's Year.
All right, honey. A couple gays out there probably, what they're experiencing with fish, they probably do have some, okay.
We're house fathers.
Yes, very true. Raising the girls to be, rainbow queens. Hallelujah. Also want to introduce to you none other than Scotty, also known as Mr. Still Standing.
Let's go.
Yes. Now, y'all know them from the Justice League, obviously, but switching some things up today as well. And we have some other guests that are also here. Jamar84, welcome, boo.
How you doing?
Hey, Jamar. How are you?
Hey, Raw.
Yes, God.
Hello.
We are here to serve. Now, another favorite that everyone loves, we just love him. Yes, God, honey, yes, God. We already know. He is the helper of helpers. I was trying to come up with something with Green Lantern, but it just fucked me up. For the artist, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Yes.
Hi.
Also, in addition to this wonderful group, it is me, D Honey, also known as the Black Tastic Divine Honey. What's up, D?
Let me see if I can put this in landscape. Can I put this in landscape?
How y'all doing? What's up?
I was about to say, not tonight, bitch.
Not tonight.
I was about to say, with delay. How you doing?
Good. What y'all up to?
What is that?
What'd you say?
I said, come on, Floyd, with the Lamarita, but which one is that? Is that the mango?
I have no clue what this is. I have
Oh,
no clue.
real quick, I want to shout
Watermelon, I
someone
think. No. Pomegranate. I have no clue.
real quick. Hold on.
Well,
I
while
want
we
to shout
wait,
someone out. Today's
Jamar,
drink is brought to you. It's actually an inspiration from someone who donated to the channel, and I told him that I was definitely going to shout him out the next Yes God Roundtable. So I mix Southern sweet tea with a little bit of Fireball. Bitch, it is everything. So Just Juan, thank you so much, boo. I appreciate it. This drink is dedicated to you, honey. Thank you for supporting the channel and the Yes God Roundtable, bitch.
Okay.
My drink for tonight is
Okay. Yes.
Did you say water?
oh Lord,
I said Sprite. You know I didn't say water.
Oh.
Yes. So,
You know I didn't say
hello, chat. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you guys so much. Now, let's get into some things. So, what I want to do first is I'm going to go down the topic list. I'm going to answer. I'll give my answer for mine, and then we'll go down the list of everybody else. And just to be fair, because I know StreamYard has a time delay, so when someone's giving an answer, if someone wants to say something, just like give it a couple of seconds. That way we can be sure that person had their thought fully processed, okay? We ready?
we're ready.
Let's
Now,
do it.
hopefully this doesn't expose the children, okay?
Oh, well, girl, I might as well exit. No joke.
Right.
Yes, God. All right. So today's episode is titled Lost and Found. Topic number 1 is called Finding Your Place. Upon coming out, it had to be hard to figure out where you fit in within the community, which oftentimes leads to experimentation. How can I put this in a better term? When you finally came out the closet, when you finally discovered who you were, not just sexually, but your identity, period, it had to be a moment in your life where you were like, where do I fit in? Just like in high school, you have the jocks, you have the gothic bitches, you have the nerd squad, you have all your different type of cliques. And when you go to high school, you're like, where do I fit in? So you end up trying a bunch of different things or meeting different people that are within those different realms to see where you can, place yourself. So I'll start off, and basically the question is, what was that process or journey like for you? So what I'll say is, when I came out of the closet, it was obvious that coming from the life that I had, I wasn't able to fully find people or social groups where I could freely talk about my sexuality and who I am. So it made me feel a little out of place. So when I was 18, I met this person. Rest in peace to Miss Queen Peaches, honey. Yes, God, honey. This older queen that I met, and by way of chance, going to the gas station, child, and there was just something about this bitch that was just shining. This bitch was dick down in gold, and this bitch was just living her best fucking life. And me, myself, I was like, I want to be that happy to where I can just be me.
Mm-hmm.
And accept myself and not feel as if I'm walking out here in the world and people are just going to judge me. Because honestly, it was so depressing. Just that coming out, people think it's fabulous. No, bitch, not all the
Mhm.
time. You're gonna go through those deep depressions and those deep thoughts where you're just like, what the fuck is going on here? And it takes a very long time, even well over after you're an adult, before you're able to overcome those certain fears. Because even at 32 years old, I find myself when I'm in public, kind of like adjusting myself to my surroundings when I really don't fucking want to, you know. So when I met this bitch, spending time just basically, I want to say that kind of was a house mother in a way to me. And I know that's a lot of avenues, a lot of people part of the spectrum align themselves with, because obviously within their whatever their personal family issues are, or wherever they're from, may not their environment may not be accepting or maybe too hostile towards people that identify as part of the spectrum. So I ended up becoming real friends. We ended up becoming roommates. Child, big mistake in my motherfucking life, bitch. But anyway, but I did learn a lot about that side of things. Obviously, I could not relate to that to my friend because late in the midnight hour, that bitch would dress up in drag and do things. I may not have been able to relate to those things, but the actual comfort and the confidence that this bitch displayed was something that I wanted because I lacked that. I felt like, I'm not even gonna lie. There was a point in my life where I felt like, bitch, I'm gonna end this life. I am so done with this shit because, like, you see how other people are treated just because they want to just be who the fuck they are, not on no extra shit, just being able to be free, being you. So when I met this particular person, and this person was much older than I was, and this bitch was living in her truth, I was like, well, obviously, one day I'll get to that point of true acceptance where I'm shining bright like a diamond with a smile. Okay, so that was for me, that was my process going through it with that particular person, allowing myself to share in someone else's experience, even though I didn't identify or relate to their particular aesthetic, I should say, or lifestyle. Um, but I certainly took a lot of values and a lot of wisdom from my friend's experience. And again, may he rest in peace, because I did learn a lot. So that's what that like was for. That's what it was for me. So I'm gonna start with the cat's meow. Do you want to?
Okay. Well, for me, acceptance for me was a different way. I did and still do have to adjust, like you were saying, you have to do. But my parents didn't like it, but I was never really shunned or treated any differently because of it. But when I started seeing like little kids like committing suicide and being bullied and stuff, and I was just like, how dare I carry this fear around when they literally live in fear and I have this ability to just be myself. I'm so caught up with what are people going to think? These people are actually being harmed and killed and raped and just disrespected. And I'm just worried about people thinking, how dare I? Like if I have the ability to just walk through this world confidently, then I should. If not even for me, just for them, just to be proud and say like we exist and we're not scared of you at all. And I think just watching people with confidence, like you said, your friend, like seeing people with confidence and just carrying that, that pride around took me to be proud as well because growing up in the church, I was told that it was wrong. And even now, I just be like, you know what, I respect your belief, but I also believe what I believe, and it is what it is. You just have to, it's a work in progress. It's still happening. I think that's why I think it's so hard for me to answer the question because I'm still working with it.
I do believe that that's an inevitability, though. Even when I think about it now, I'm still going through that. And even with that experience with my friend, I still didn't find my lane. But I think at the end of the day, when I look in retrospect, like, what is that? I'm just being me,
Right.
you know? Scotty?
Well, when I first realized, if I'm allowed to say that, because I think when I first realized I was gay, I was about 14,
Mm.
and it was kind of like a thing where I knew I had those feelings, I knew I had those thoughts, but I never acted on that. I never addressed them. I never did any of that because growing up, it was the wrong thing to do, or you get shunned for being gay, or gay was something bad, or you get bullied for being gay, or whatever. People talk about you bad because you're gay. So all throughout high school, I'm the type, I didn't have no girlfriend. I never tried to date a girl. Well, I did try, but these bitches knew I
Me
wasn't
too.
into them. That's why they never gave me a shot. But but they only wanted to be my friend, and I should have known then that that's what it was. But I would try to do little things to try to make it go away. But I knew that once I got out of high school and I went to college, my freshman year is when I decided that, okay, I can't keep fighting this for too much longer. I got to go ahead and do what I got to do. And I kissed a man for the first time, and I knew that I liked it. So it's kind
You
of like,
kissed the
okay.
man and you liked it. The taste of his chocolate
So,
chapstick. Yeah.
It's cherry, not chocolate.
Lord.
Oh yes, chocolate.
I mean, I already knew what it was. I knew it was a passion. I looked every time I looked at a man, my dick got hard when I looked at a man. Whenever I looked at a woman, I never got aroused. So I knew what it was. And when I came out the closet, I came out to my friends first. My closest friends, I came out to them first, and none of them judged me. But then I was afraid to come out to my family because I didn't know how they would react. You know what I mean? I didn't know what response I would get. And when I came out to my mother and my sister, it wasn't the most pleasant experience. My mother eventually came around, though. You know what I'm saying? But I understood her better when she told me her backstory. My mother grew up with being raised by her grandparents. My great grandfather was a minister. He was even marching for like he even marched with Martin Luther King and all the other stuff. Like he
Oh,
was
okay.
seen in the history book and everything. So
Hmm.
um, that's the type of life that's the type of stuff she was under. So she told me this story that she had an uncle that was gay, and they sent him to like a mental institution because they thought that something was wrong with him.
Oh my.
So maybe with her growing up with that, that could have been a reason why she was kind of closed minded to the whole thing. And at this point, it's been like 10 years since I came out to my mom, and she understands it so much better. You can't say the word faggot in front of her. You can't be homophobic at all in front of my mom. Like you can't do none of that. And when I came out to my dad, I came out to my dad 3 years later, and he accepted it way faster than my mom. Actually, my mom told him that I was gay. He was like, "Oh, okay." That's all he said. And then the same thing with my youngest brother. I came out to him, and he was like, "Okay." It's not like I didn't know already. And that's the other thing that I don't understand. It's like when you come out to your family, they be claiming that they already knew, but they take it so hard. They make it such a big deal, but they say they already knew.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, it's people always say, "Oh, such and such need to come on out the closet." It ain't that simple, bitch. It's a lot of emotion to come with that.
That's very
And
true.
that's all I can say on that.
That's very true. Okay.
Because I know when I first came out, I didn't even say the words "I'm gay." My cousin that's in the chat right now, I wrote it down on a sheet of paper. That's just how afraid I was to say it out loud.
Hmm. And just was there a
So,
process
Yeah.
that you
yeah.
went through in trying to find that lane that you were comfortable with, or you're just still like like me and Cats me, I still in that whole discovering phase of what works for you?
Um, I'm not sure if I'm still searching for that. I
Mm.
know at the beginning, it was difficult. It was very difficult. It was difficult for me to find that. And then on top of that, it's like now I have come to terms with me not really connecting with many gay men. It's kind of like I'm in this place where I'm gay, but it's like it feels like I don't belong.
Right.
It's like I'm an outsider. You know what I mean? Like I don't. It's like I don't relate to too many gay guys. I don't get along with too many. It's just like I don't understand, but I've come to terms with it. Because I've always been an offbeat for most of my life anyway. So it's kind of like this ain't nothing to me. I'm marching to the beat of my own drum anyway. So
In one of the experiences that I had, when I was about 16, I was hanging out with this one gay guy in my neighborhood. Well, I was in a group home at the time, but I would come to the other city to hang out on the weekends, honey. Okay, fuck the crackers, y'all ain't gonna hold me down, bitch. I'm gonna have fun on the weekends, honey. Okay, so I went on the weekends, and I'm trying to again find my place. So I'm hanging out with this person, and then I end up hanging out with their friends over the weekend. And child, that was the worst. These bitches was dressing up a drag, and they was out here tricking these men, honey. These men went on a shooting spree, bitch, with me in the lineup with all these girls. I said, "Oh no, honey, this is not the kind of situation that I want to be in." Those were the saucy kind of punks who was out here just doing all kinds of fuckery. At that moment, I realized, bitch, when keeping it real goes wrong. Okay, fuck that.
Okay.
But, just moving on real quick, Jamar, how you doing, boo?
I'm doing good. How's everybody else?
Blessed and
Good.
I'm doing like
As I've been trying to recall, because I haven't really thought about this process in a while. Both of my parents are Southern. My mom is from Texas, my dad's from Alabama. I had an easier time coming out to my mom because my mom was the type of woman who she
Hold
still.
on 1 second, boo. I'm so sorry. Is someone having a moment?
Here.
I
There's a
think
there's a there's a
Like
feedback.
fireworks.
Fireworks or neighbors fucking.
Oh,
Loud fuck. That is a loud fuck.
Someone trying to kill a
not
roach.
neighbors.
Food.
Hi, Pierre. That's a loud fuck. That is a loud fuck. It was like boom. Like
it's thundering over here.
I don't hear
That
it
may be
anymore.
what you hear.
I
oh, it
don't
must
hear
have
it
been the
anymore.
thunder. It was the
Oh,
thunder.
okay.
I
Lightning.
think I had neighbors above me that are playing music, but I don't think that's what you're hearing.
No, I heard like someone like slamming a boot against a wall or some pussy. Something.
That
That's what I thought I heard, child. But sorry for interrupting you, Jamar.
Okay,
my,
tomorrow.
my mom was a lot more accepting of it. There was still some resistance there, but she was always like, as long as you're happy, healthy, I'm still gonna love you. That type of approach to it. So I was lucky to have that. My dad, on the other hand, it took him a little bit longer. He actually he had to have the sit me down moment, open up the Bible to Leviticus, that whole Bible verse thing. And what was funny about that is that day that he decided to do that, this was like roughly around right after New Year's of 2011 when I was visiting. I'd stayed there to go to New Year's. And that night, I had a friend of mine from high school invite me to a house party, of course, amongst other girls, gays. And he was waiting outside in the car. And I was about to go out, but he said, I want to have a conversation with you. I'm like, so he chose that moment to open the Bible. He did the whole thing. But what I give my dad credit for is that he did it. It was about maybe 20 minutes. He was like, I just wanted to give you this information. I'm not going to stop you from going, but I wanted to, let you know what my thoughts, what my beliefs are about it, but you can still go and do what you do and be an adult. So I was appreciative of that, but the process of sort of coming to it for myself, because he still instilled in me growing up, like, walk a certain way, hang around your uncles and your brother as opposed to your female cousins and your aunts. Like there was kind of like this practice of you have to behave a certain way. And so I remember, even to this day, I somewhat still police myself from certain feminine aspects of my own personality naturally, but I'm still allowing it to, at the same time, free, allow myself to, release those restrictions. So I think I'm in a similar way to like the cat's meow, still coming to terms and slowly elevating. And I think I'm just, as I'm growing older, finding new ways of expression, whether it be like through when I started watching Drag Race, I was able to find out I had talent for makeup and things of that nature. So I'm finding new ways to just express whoever it is that this person is inside of me right now.
Okay. No, that's right.
But yeah, it's definitely an ongoing thing. And truth be told, I feel like it's an ongoing thing until the day you die. I feel like you are discovering who you are constantly, because I don't feel like a person is like finite. And so who I am now, I don't think I was ever this person when I was a teenager. I don't feel like I had the equipment to be who I am now 10 years ago. And I feel 10 years from now, I'm not going to be the same person.
Light years ahead, yes.
So I feel like we're always ever evolving, and that process of sort of coming into ourselves is ongoing forever until we are 6 feet under.
Before we get off of Jamar, let me just thank you, because you suggested in your live with Scotty that the viewers listen to Mariah Carey's Passion album.
Oh,
bitch! That album I can play from start to finish.
It's a vibe.
That is a great album.
It's a vibe.
One more game.
Hold on. To be fair, all of her albums kind of are the shit. So, I'm a Mariah. I'm a Mariah Carey. That I'm a stand for her. I love her. I love her. Like, the only time the bitch can do wrong is when she's trying to do those lives that she knows don't be working for her. I.e. New Year's Eve, honey. Okay.
We're not gonna talk about New Year's Eve. How you gonna be a lamb and bring up New Year's Eve?
I have to call it how I see. I have to have well-balanced perspective. I have to keep it. But that's my bitch, though. That's my bitch.
Child, just walk me downstairs.
Okay.
Walk me on downstairs. Go ahead and dip me.
She said, "Child, it went number one." I said, "I know that's right, girl. Fuck it." It went number one, honey. Whatever. Sing along. But all right. Moving on to Boy. Let's get into what you got. What's your responses to the question at hand, honey?
Can you rephrase the question one more time so I can know, so the church in the balcony know, the nosebleed seats?
Up yonder. Okay. Upon coming out, it had to be hard to figure out where you fit in within the community, which oftentimes leads to experimentation. What was that process or journey like for you?
Well, to have it start, I was always struggling with the whole sexuality thing. The time I came to accept it was around 6th or 7th grade, where I literally had to be staring myself in the mirror and see if I could tell myself and accept myself that I was gay. And it took a lot. But about time I opened up to it, I was still kind of hesitant, because I was like, you know what, maybe it's a phase. Maybe it's one of those scenarios where I just need to find the right girl. Or maybe I need to find me a big fluffy girl, or all shapes and sizes. But kind of like Scotty, they just viewed me as a friend. So that never played out, and I never really embraced or explore that sexuality until college. Now, as for finding a group, I have yet to find one. I'm still exploring. No one has yet to really fit in. I mean, yes, I can identify myself as a nerd type of gay, but 9 times out of 10, a whole bunch of gays. A whole bunch of other gays are not really indulged into the whole superheroes and comic books as how I am. So kind of like how Jamar was saying that I'm still learning myself, and how Kat was saying still in my own little circle box. So I'm still exploring, and I never was in the type of box. I always vibe with everybody. I could vibe with the nerds, vibe with the jocks. Didn't matter to me.
Nothing ever matters at all. Yeah. Okay. It's me, D.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's the
I'm
tea,
good.
man?
Hello.
Good.
Say that again.
You want me to reiterate the question, or you already heard it?
I heard it. I'll just answer. Oh, whew, coming out, it was very hard for me actually. When you're coming from a Black Caribbean, Bible thumping background family, it's very hard to say, hey, I'm gay. You know, very much in the Bible, very much Caribbean, because a lot of Caribbean people are very Christian, and even up to now, it's like it's still hard for them to accept it. But it's like whether you want a gay son or do you want a dead son, you know?
Hmm.
So it's like, will
Oh,
they ever accept it? Maybe not. At the end of the day, I know that they're not going to me for it. They may not like it or understand it. That it's fine. I, I, I guess I'm at peace with it now. But sometimes they'll say that are hurtful and make little jokes, and it's like maybe you'll never understand, but you shouldn't say that stuff. Um, so I'm still going. I'm still going through it. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. It's hard. But at the end of the day, they love you how they know how to love you.
Mm-hmm.
They love you. They know how to love you.
Hmm.
Um, as finding a group, I had when I started to discover myself more, like a lot of days out there, what we do, we go to the club and we'll mix and mingle, and I found people in the
oh my.
Who said on mine?
Oh.
I did. Because he started to freeze.
I was like, uh-oh.
I think, just to piggyback off what he was saying though, I just think that it's better when you have a support system. Like it's easier to get through it when you have a support system. Because I feel like if I didn't have my group of friends that I had and still have,
Yes.
I don't think I would have been able to get through that. And the way that I came out to people, I made a list of people I was gonna come out to one by one. I knew who I was gonna come out to and when I was gonna do it.
Hmm.
And I went down there with everybody. I was surprised by all the support that I got, to be honest.
Yeah.
That made me happier and it made it easier. But it's just that part of trying to hide it from the family that was given to me.
Right.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Trying to
And
hide everything.
it's me, D. I don't know if you are listening, but if you are, I just want to say, on behalf of the Justice League and affiliates, I know support. I can only imagine what you are going through, and we want you to know that we love you and we support you. And until your family comes around, we will be that stand-in family for you. Like we got you. I don't want you to feel like you're
Amen.
yourself or that.
A family that prays together will
Okay.
stay
I
together.
don't want you to feel like we got you.
We got you, boo. Even if your internet doesn't, we got you. Yes, God.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
We love you, boo.
We had some really great questions, and one of the questions was from
Well,
Mom.
hold on 1 second. Before I do, we will get into the comments real quick. I just wanted to finish this real quick because we got 3 major topics to get to. So we will answer the questions just real quick, though. Just go around the round table real quick. In retrospect, would you have done anything differently? If so, please explain. And also, what advice, if any, do you have to offer on this experience to someone who may be going through something you went through?
Mm, differently, I probably would have come out sooner. I was just so afraid of what people were thinking of me, and part of that pride, especially in this world, is just not giving a fuck because like we're being gay is like being your own mini celebrity. Like everybody's in your business. Everybody want to talk shit about you. Everybody want to see what you're doing. Everybody want to scrutinize you. And it's just like you just gotta like have tough skin and not give a fuck. And once I did it, it was just like, oh, this is what it feel like when y'all talk shit. It has no effect at all. You know, like for some people it really hurts, and for others it's just like, girl, fuck you. Like, and that's where I'm at now. But I be safe. You know, I don't want to go any place where I feel like, you know, I may be harassed or, you know, profiled or anything like that. So my advice would be just, you know, do what's best for you. Live in your truth and be happy and authentic to who you are, but understand where you live and, you know, like be careful, you know, because, you know, coming out is it's necessary and it's so vital to who you are as a person. But I also want to see you live to fulfill that life.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that would be my advice.
Amen.
For me, I think my answer would be the same, Mr. Casimir. I feel like I should have came out earlier, and I feel like maybe life would be different if I did go ahead and just come out when I knew what I was. Because, like I said, I knew what I was when I was 14. And I tell this story all the time. The, do y'all remember that video by Ashanti when she was riding on an elephant on the beach? Was it Rock with You? Yeah, it was Rock with
Yeah,
You.
I think
yeah.
so.
And the man, the dark skinned chocolate dude that was her love interest. I wasn't thinking about her. I was looking at him. So that's how I knew what
Okay.
was. So, I feel like if I would have just came out sooner, things would be different because it looks to me like once I came out the closet, everybody respected me when I came out of the closet.
Right.
So I feel like my life would have been so hard in high school if I would have just been out with it from the beginning. But
Hmm.
who knows?
Yeah, I feel that too, especially with like the little innuendos my family would throw. Like they knew I was gay before I said it or acknowledged it, but they would still be like, "When you can bring a girlfriend," or you know, like somebody in their family would have a girlfriend. Oh, cast me out when you. It's like, girl, cut the shit. Like you already know, ain't no my way of me.
Like, you know what it is.
It is not happening. Jamar.
For Jamal.
I don't think I would change anything, only because I feel like if I rushed too far into what this lifestyle is like, especially as a black gay man, if I did it earlier, I don't think I would have handled a lot of situations with as much
Mm,
maturity that I would have as I got older. Like
mm,
if I got thrusted into like the clubbing and the dangers that come with sex and the predators out there that kidnap us and all that stuff. If I kind of thrusted myself into that lifestyle like 12, 13, I felt like I would have made a lot more reckless decisions.
Mm,
So I'm glad it happened in the timeline that it did. And as far as advice to offer, I feel like you should do it at your own pace, do what's comfortable. Uh, do it in such a way that you feel honored as a person. Because some people try to tell you how to come out,
mm. Or try
which
to
is
force you out. Like, aren't you gay?
Try
Don't
to
you
push you.
yeah, like trying to
no.
tell your business just because they want to know more about it. But it's like it's a very
How to say like
personal
that?
experience, very personable experience, and so I say do it on your own time. Do it in a way that's comfortable. Don't I feel like as you grow and as you mature, you'll figure out not to give so much weight to other people's opinions, even though as I feel like naturally we want to please our parents, we want to make them proud, but it's not even about them. So if they don't like it, it's unfortunate. We want them to be a part of it, but if they choose not to, then that's just the way that it is. That's why a lot of people have all those different gay families, gay cousins, gay mom, gay dads, because they can create that sense of family and togetherness and ministry with people that may not even be their actual families, because it's still really necessary. So just do it your way, however you want to do it, on your own time. That's my advice.
On your own time.
Okay. Perfect advice. Boy.
I agree with Jamar. Come out at your own time. I mean, unfortunately, I was outed.
Ooh, bitch.
Yes.
I got a story about that too.
Man. Don't get me started. As would I change anything? I guess if anything, I would change my fearfulness of actually sitting down and talking it out with my family, because there's been opportunities. Funny story how I got caught watching gay porn by my parents. Both
what
of
was
them.
the actual porn? What kind of porno was it?
Oh, this was back in the days where it's just pictures on the internet.
Okay, I get it. I remember those days.
But yeah, I just wish they gave me the opportunity to talk to them about it, and I was so fearful because of losing the ideal black man. So I don't know. I'll just change how I was so fearful and just talk to people and just be like, yeah, don't give no fucks. Yeah, so what? That's basically it. As for advice, just go at your own pace. Also, know who you're coming out to, because you got some messy people out there who will use it against you. And closest ones are the families. So,
amen.
You can say that again.
So that's all I got for that one.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean about that one, because one of those people I had on my little list of people to come out to, I told them I was gay, and I advised them not to open their fucking mouth. And what did they do? They opened their fucking mouth. The very person I didn't want to know.
Hell no.
So I know.
You know, for the future, don't get nobody no damn advisory, bitch. If you tell somebody, your ass is grass.
I know that's right. It's me, D.
Our relationship was never.
It's me, D. In retrospect, looking back on the experience of just that what we were the same topic we were talking about earlier. Do you have anything that you would have did differently, or any advice that you would like to give to anybody possibly going through the same situation that you experienced?
I would have, because I was scared going back to being Caribbean and all that. I got found out. It was remember MySpace back in the day?
Yes, when Tom was everyone's friend.
And it had your sexual orientation on it. And back then, every gay person thought they was bisexual. So I put bisexual. And my cousin told me.
Oh wow.
I was like, oh, so we're
I definitely told it.
Okay. She was mad the entire day. So I would have definitely told her. And I'm in the process of this. I'm educating her, telling her, certain things, as well as families that, there's a difference between gender identity and sexuality. So and what I would tell anybody, just, tell when you are ready. Be aware of who you tell, because not everybody's your friend. Not everybody.
Like general consensus at the roundtable this evening. Yeah.
Even if you tell people, you know how some of the girls be telling everybody their business, how much people they sleep, all of that. You can't do that. And just understand something that I thought when I was young, that Your sexuality is just a part of you. It's not the entirety of you.
Amen.
It's not
Yes.
the entirety. A lot of people think that it's like a stamp. Ooh, boom, they're gay. So that's it.
If
They're
you're
they're
gay, you
not.
must sleep around. If you're gay, you must be getting
Or
trade
you're
every
not
single
that.
day. Yeah.
You're not that friend I used to play basketball with. You're not that my cousin that we used to play Tekken all the time with. You're just that gay person, and it's not true. It's just a part of you.
Right.
But why is sexuality the main thing that people focus on? Or why is sexuality a big gossip talk? Or why is it breaking news when a person comes out the closet? Like, bitch, they're
I,
only telling you that they like you. What's the
when,
big
we, when
deal?
when you deal with things that are considered taboo, what's the old saying? Why make rules because people are just going to break them anyway? People are tempted by the thing that is considered to be taboo. People are tempted by this mysterious unknown realm. So when they think of someone coming out as gay, guess what goes off in their head? Well, who they slept with. Unfortunately, that is like one of the very first things that pop in a bitch's mind when they find out that someone is gay. Because in my experience, the girls be like, well, who is? I remember one time in this neighborhood, man, I was in working trade. There's always honey, yes, God to the bit, trying to okay. So once the tea came out about someone else, the whole neighborhood flooded my motherfucking house, asking the main question: who else out here is on that shit? First of all, bitch, don't approach me about anybody else's motherfucking business. Because that nigga got caught up in the rapture of love, honey, holla hella God, doesn't mean that I'm out here serving the trade. And even if I was, I'm not going to tell you people's business because it's not your business. And you want to be shady with this information. You want to expose this person and treat them like shit. You don't want to do it to try to help them come out and actually be their true self. You're doing it for negative and having, based on wanting to, child, this fireball, no God. Anyway, just to wrap that up quick on this topic, that way we can get to some of the comments. The advice that I would give is just stand in your truth because you never know when a raggedy whore is out there that's going to try to use your tea against you. So as long as you're standing in your truth, serving justice on your fucking terms, bitch, not nobody else's, you will be fine.
Amen.
You will be fine. Knock, knock, who's there? No one, bitch, because I didn't answer the door. Hello. Now, Cats, now you want to take some of the comments real quick? I know we have a bunch of questions from people.
We do.
Hold on.
The first one is, it's from Belize actually. It says, is there anything that family/friends can do to make coming out easy?
Don't look at me
Just
sad-eyed.
being there. Just being there and not make everything about being gay. Like, like everything, like my whole life doesn't revolve around being gay. Like I have other things in my life that I'm proud of. Or I have other things to bring to the table besides, gossip about what nigga on the down low and all this other stuff. Like, don't come to me for all that. Like,
Right.
don't use every time I'm with you as a tea session. Because that's not what it's about. So, no. Because bitches will do that.
I want to answer this question.
Yes, sir.
Once you have discovered that I am a homosexual,
Cheers, bitch. Yeah.
Don't call me to go shopping. Don't ask me to do your makeup. Don't have me describe to you what shade and tea is. Again, ask me who else.
Don't yes God me.
Don't yes God, honey. Oh, all
Don't
give
me the lingo.
Don't.
Well, let me get out now.
Don't give me the lingo.
That's my shit.
Don't do it. It's because it makes it.
You can do that because you're a gay man, but as an ally, don't try to prove that you're down with the cause.
Like we did.
Yes, hunty. The hunty is really what takes me off. Girl,
yes, honey,
we don't even say that. Girl, at least say what we say. The hunty gotta go. No.
And you know what? Make it so that we could just be whoever we are, what version of we are, however we choose to express ourselves in family spaces. because a lot of times, at least I know for me, I still police myself in family settings because I know that, as a majority, I feel like my family's okay, but I still don't, I feel like I can't be the same level of myself as I do with my friends that I can with my family, if that makes sense. So,
let me piggyback on that.
yeah, create the space.
Let me just say, I'm proud of y'all. Because, bitch, I don't even show up.
I love them enough.
Because I know we got
be more.
Well, I'll go like at 9 o'clock to get a plate. To where I'm just coming for the food. I'm gonna talk to one of my favorite cousins, put me a plate to the side, bitch. I'm gonna say my hello to my goodbyes. Because bitch, I ain't got time for all this. I don't. Y'all gonna talk shit regardless. And I'm sick of it.
I don't mean to cut you off, Jamar. Are you finished?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I just wanted to say, to answer Belisa's question too, just show love to the person. You don't, there's no such thing as you gotta accept them. I don't accept you. Just love that person regardless. Just love them for who they are. If a lot of y'all Bible thumpers want to quote the Bible, what did Jesus do? He showed love. That's it. Just show that person love. That's it.
Come to, in the words of Mariah Carey, come to me with those. Never mind. Let me shut the fuck up. Boy, what's King? Let me stop. Let me stop. Go ahead, boy.
All right, to piggyback on what It's Me D said, for those of you who are part of the religious spectrum, if you find out that your relative, cousin, brother, sister is part of the LGBTQ plus in question mark, what I need y'all not to do is throw the Bible in our faces. We're already having a spiritual torment.
I know the Bible more than them bitches.
On top of that, if you see if you see that that person in your family who's being, what's that word term, when you throw the Bible in their faces, I need you to be there supporting them. Be like, it's all right, or help be a
ally.
I guess ally when it comes to them coming out. Be there when they say, hey, I'm about to come out to my parents. Be sitting there with them so you can be the mediator, so you can talk with them. Like, I don't know. That's basically what I
mean, supported.
That's right.
And that's
it is a very vulnerable experience to
it really is like
to come out. Just like Coach Scott just said, it's hard to say it when you're going through it. It's hard to even say it from your own mouth because there's so much shame that has been instilled in us for even, especially as Black men, like weakness, femininity, all of that. Our family's not with that. We're supposed to be the pillars of strength and providing and all of that nonsense. It's like if you limp your wrist too long,
or if you have that little switch in your walk real quick.
Yeah.
I have these they were some raggedy ass bitches, and those motherfuckers used to always try to put some bass in your voice. Stop doing all that switching when you walk. How about you shut the fuck up, you raggedy bitch, with that 3,000-year-old wig you got?
Don't get me started.
It just these conversations bring up. Sometimes these types of conversations can bring up those raw emotions. But as you guys are talking, I'm replaying some of my past in my head, and I'm
always the aunties with the husbands that's cheating that got the most to say. Bitch, are you watching your man? Why you trying to watch?
In the words of Medea, check the deed.
Are you watching your man? Why you watching your kids? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't, because this is his third strike, and so now he's about a 20. And he fucking niggas up in that. So, I'm just saying.
But see, now when we start spilling the tea, then we become the messy person.
Then we the messy bitch, but it's just all we really doing is backing you up. Coming in shooting machetes at people. Leave us the fuck alone.
Well,
it's really.
But why is it that when we finally do come out, it's always like they just like y'all said, they police everything we do. Why are you eating that cereal like that? Why are you sitting on the couch like
this? This is the part that really kills me.
The girl song.
Everybody, what kills me, Scotty, is that before you said you were gay, you were acting completely the same. Nothing changed. So it's like Y'all didn't see this before. Y'all didn't have a problem with me before I said it. But now that I'm owning who I am, bitch, I'm just a totally different person.
But what is the threat? It's like you're.
Because you were just saying.
I think being gay to traditional black people is almost the equivalent to being black to white people. Like
very much so.
I don't even have
Prime example, real quick though. Like when I
I can
last
hear you.
episode I talked
Yes,
about a
bitch.
group, huh?
I can't hear you.
I can hear you fine.
It's
I
like
can't.
I can hear him, but like how everybody else was able to hear him earlier, I couldn't hear him out of nowhere.
So now it's 4 days.
How's it now?
Scotty, can you hear? Yes, bitch.
Boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I can hear.
Okay.
It's I don't know, it's something going on with the
Devil, you have no power.
It's StreamYard. They always
It's
StreamYard.
Good.
Say it again.
Good. Okay. But yeah, just a real quick, cute example. I remember last episode I talked about these group of guys I grew up with in the foster care system. We were like brothers, and we were cool. But as soon as I finally decided to come out the closet, I'm no longer considered a brother. I'm no longer a friend anymore. So it's just like, wow. But when I was in the closet and I wasn't owning that part of myself that I should have always owned, it was good. But so I think to answer Cass Meow's situation is having that, being gay adjacent or being friends with someone who's openly gay is automatically thought of like, oh, y'all niggas must be sleeping together then. And that's why a lot of men
oh my God, that's
that
so
community,
annoying.
huh?
It's annoying. That's what he said.
It's so annoying.
Yeah. And it's just like we can have straight guy friends, but at the end of the day, it's hard to even establish those or even cultivate them or even maintain them because of what the people are going to think. If you're hanging out with this dude and people know that you're openly gay, you all must be obviously sleeping together.
And then what pisses me off about that is that you're tainting and taking away one of our allies.
Yes.
Saying all this stuff, now he looking for shit. And it's just like, why we just can't be cool like we was 2 weeks ago? I didn't want to and I don't want to now. Like,
and they're like, nah.
And they be the ugly ones that think that you want to sleep with them.
Bitch, I'm dressing your girlfriend. What the fuck? Like, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Okay. All right, so let's move on because we're almost at an hour. I wanted to go for like an hour 30, hour 40. So on to the next topic of discussion because I don't really see any questions. I just see comments. So love you guys. Thank you guys. We have questions. We will definitely get to them. We appreciate y'all. So the next topic is position decision. Hallelujah, bitch. So now that we have figured out who we are, now we have to ask what we are, top, bottom, or verse. Me, I'm a power bottom bitch, loud and proud. What is the T? That is what you get from a bitch like me. Okay. So let's just dive into the social differences between them and the personal struggles, misconceptions about them, and what led us to the position decision. So for me, just starting off real quick, I have dabbled in the verse life a couple of times. Child and Thug Trades in Atlanta. Don't let them fool you. They want to be picked up, turned around just as much as any good old bottom does, honey. Okay. So that was an experience, but early on, I just knew that I had this desire to be submissive to masculine.
You went on mute on just the right moment, bitch, because we were not ready for that.
I'm gonna say his audio just
literally said, this is how it went. Yes, but we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you. It was like, I am ready.
And he muted.
And I'm like, thank you, Lord, because I know this was going to go left. I knew he was
about to spill all the tea. The whole cup done shattered.
Not tonight, bitch.
The cup, the mug,
crazy technical difficulty.
The kettle.
Not the kettle.
The kettle broke.
Oh.
Boy, if you slip on that one time and you can't tell me what it is,
I have no clue. I have no clue. I have no clue. I can
How
send
you
you a
drinking
picture.
something you don't know?
It looked pretty, okay? It looked pretty on the shelf. I wanted it, and I got it.
I'm
Beyonce.
thinking of wine called Cupcake, and I thought it was gonna be sweet because it's called Cupcake. It's not sweet and it's strong as fuck.
I never like cupcakes. Give me a cookie, give me a brownie. I don't want no cupcake.
I like cookies, I like brownies, but them mini cupcakes, oh, oh, I can eat a whole container of cupcakes in one sitting.
Them
Vanilla,
little bites.
yeah, the little bite-sized ones. Oh yes, vanilla.
They
I
okay.
love vanilla and Nilla wafers. I've been like, as of late, I've been really addicted to mini Nilla wafers and cinnamon applesauce. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Those wafers.
be ready to be my parents. I don't know, but I've had those weird cravings for like months now.
I can only do candy and sweets in small doses.
How is it now?
Hey, yeah.
You can
That's good.
Be fine.
Shit.
Wait, bitch, did you change?
That's what I
Belize, we're not doing this today.
With this
Oh,
red,
Lord, what Belize
red, I was like, girl, fuck that shit.
What Belize say?
Belize, don't. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Basically, just what I was saying. Discovering the position and just going through that again early on. Can everybody hear me now? Because we're getting to this shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I get talking shit about. It's me, child. This is karma, bitch. That's those island roots. That's those island roots, bitch. That's what I'm not gonna be shady no more to anybody's internet connection. It's not. I'm not gonna do it no more. That's what I get.
Well, mine keep messing up too.
But basically,
mine keep messing up too.
Okay, but basically, just I always was attracted to the stereotypical gay. Like I'm attracted to like high energy of masculine energy. I love to feel subdued. I love to feel like submissive. But that's not the energy I give off in like my awake life. I'm just a horny ass bitch who is turned on by things like that. So when I see a man that has that thug passion, make a nigga smile when he feeling down type of shit, okay, I'm all here for it. So being a bottom, I felt like just came naturally to me, and then obviously through growth, I became a bottom. Hallelujah. So that's me out. Position decision.
I think my position kind of chose me.
Okay.
But what I will say is now that I'm stepping into my 30s and I'm just exploring a more sensual side of myself, I do think that once I get like a partner that, I feel like is possibly going to be my husband, I probably will be open to being first. Because he probably will want to at some point. I want to be able to have the ability to do something and not do it just because I don't want to, So but as of right now, I am a bottom, and I think, again, I think that this kind of just shows me through my mannerisms and just who I am as a person, because I'm 29 years old and I'm just now starting to like realize like, oh my God, there are feminine thoughts. Like it's new to me. It's something that I have not been able to like wrap my head around, because even though I'm gay, my mind is still traditional. Feminine means girl, masculine means that. I'm thinking the bottoms are feminine, the tops are masculine, but it's so different. The spectrum is so wide, and there's so much to learn. And so as of right now, I'm a bottom, but I'm pretty sure I'll be open.
And I think that goes right into a lot of the misconceptions too. People think because you're feminine, you're obviously a bottom. That's not the case. Because I know a lot of feminine bottoms who will fuck the shit out of your ass. Okay, so it's a big misconception in our community, and I really hate that. Don't equate my femininity or my masculinity to whatever position you think. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that to me. I don't like stuff like that.
And even now, they try to like gentrify it in a way by saying soft top. Like, why can't he just be a top? Like, don't make it any different. Like, normalize it so it can be normal for us.
Well, I'm a power bottom, so
able to
power on the bottom. Okay.
ego and the ultra male big dick energy. I don't know how I would feel if I was dating a dude and he could outvote me. I don't know how I would feel, but I want to be okay with that, because he's just as gay as I am. Why should I have special abilities that he can't have?
Okay. Scotty.
Oh,
Daylight come and me won't go home.
We're waiting.
yes, we are.
If you want to pass, you can pass. This gets too involved. Okay, if you want to wait, you can wait.
Oh, I could go. I'm just trying not to look at Jamar's ass. This is shady.
What? What did I do?
That's friendship shit. That's when you can see how a person's looking at you. That's real friendship right there. You can already know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't said shit yet, but we've had this conversation already, and you already shaded it already. It's already received.
Look,
However,
I ain't even
now
said nothing.
but okay, not to stop bullshit. I personally don't have any labels. Basically, I don't
Mm-hmm.
have any labels. I like whatever likes me. So it's like
Okay.
if and it, at the beginning, it was like, bottom. That's it. Bottom, bottom, bottom. I want a masculine man, blah, 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 blah. But then as I get older, I start to find feminine guys attractive. Like I never thought that I would be into like fat butts and shit like that. But it's like now I find myself looking at a fat ass. If I see a feminine guy with a fat ass, I have to look, or I have to touch, or I have to smack, or whatever. Like I
Do
can
you
I
get
can
consent
play
first,
any
though, Scotty?
role, huh?
Do you get consent before you touch and smack and all of that?
Yeah, I think now I'm not gonna just be doing all that, but I realized I kind of realized that I didn't have any labels when I first. This was like 2016. I had went to lunch with this guy, and I knew he was a bottom. And we came back to my house or whatever, but we didn't get out the car or anything like that. But I gave him a hug and I had kissed him, and how aggressive I was like, oh, I'm starting to feel like I'm acting like those same guys that I fuck with. You know what I mean? And then it's like the more aggressive I become, the more the tops don't like it. So it's like I don't really,
Can you relate, yes, man?
but I
Can you relate? You were not in relation? Like you can relate? You understand?
Say that again.
I say, can you relate? Were you nodding in relation?
Oh, I was reading something. I'm sorry.
but, but I honestly don't have any. I honestly don't have any like. That's really where it stands. I don't have it.
Okay, so could you date like a Charlie Exile type of dude?
You'll beat the shit out of Charlie, child.
Not Charlie.
And here's the thing.
Dude, like with the makeup and stuff, but still a guy and can, just. Could you date Redrick?
No.
Redrick who?
From
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me explain it because I explained it to Jamar when I first said something about it. It's like I can date
His face.
a masculine man, but I can date a masculine man. I can be in a relationship with a masculine man, but I can fool around and mess around and sleep around with a feminine person.
okay.
if that makes sense. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a woman that's bisexual. She can have relationships with men, but she can sleep with a woman here and there. It's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Or sometimes I don't really have to be a top. We could both be bottoms and we could just have a lesbian affair. That's
Well,
how it
let me
works.
ask you this though. So let me in the
Yeah.
realm. Okay, so is this a situation where you stay ready? Let's say you walk into a situation and you don't know if you're going to be the bottom that day, the verse that day, or the top that day. So are you just basically carrying around fleet bottles and condoms with you, like and things? I just want to know, how do you prepare, or you just don't even get yourself involved in situations where you don't have time to prepare?
That's the best idea.
That right there, I don't get myself involved in situations.
Because I
Yeah, I don't
travel.
get myself involved in situations where I have to
Say that again. I'm sorry.
prepare.
I couldn't hear you. Say that again.
No, I was laughing at me.
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying I don't prepare. I really don't get into situations where I have to prepare myself for them. I can do it.
I hear you. I'm interested to hear Jamar. Go ahead, boo. Hold on. Hey, T. What's up, Terrence?
Hey, T.
Hey, Boo Bear.
So
I didn't say Siri. I said, hey, T. Calm down.
oh, hey, okay. Hey, what's going on? I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Okay. So I definitely fall into the category of soft top because I get literally nothing from dick.
Mm.
It's
Well,
like,
now.
I look at penis like a decorative lamp. It's nice to look at, but it's not fun.
Wait,
Let me just hold on before you. Jamar is a guest. Jamar is a. Put the torpedoes away. The launched codes. Put the launch codes away. He's a guest. I'm not, because normally for blasphemy such as that, I would just go ahead and remove you from the screen. But you are a special guest today. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm very, because let me tell you something. We had Woody on an interview a long time ago from Chasing Dallas, and he said, and I quote, when he said this publicly on our platform, and he said that he's never had sex. He's a gay man, but he's never had sex with a man.
Who said that?
So that's what Woody said. My husband. So I can understand that way of thinking, but please dive into this some more because I'm very interested to hear this.
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't arouse me. Like if I see it, I'll just see it out of curiosity. Like when dick pics leak of celebrities, they don't arouse me or excite me. And like if you remember way back in the day when we used to try to watch like Real Sex on HBO.
Okay, I remember that actually.
I was always trying to find the shots of the asses of the dude's ass. That's what I was too busy looking at. It is just like, I don't know what it is, but it's always been something about the ass that always arouses me. It's exciting to me.
It is a beautiful thing. A man's ass.
I'm a bottom, and I do find ass attractive.
I do too. I'm a bottom, and I'm an ass man. I will look at asses all day, and I work in retail. I'm just like, yeah, you need some help. I think you should go a size. Big booty niggas, you need to go a size.
Whenever you go to the club, and you're trying to find, like, you find that one dude in the club, you're trying to figure out ways that you can kind of approach that person so that you can potentially dance on the person and rub your dick on their ass in the club. Like, that whole mind game that you have to do. But at the same time, even though that's the truth for me, I also, for those that have seen it on the Prelude, I wear makeup, I put on the drag, I have a hyper feminine persona that I enjoy expressing.
Yeah.
So when people see that, like you said, they already have put me into that box of, I'm sure he's the bottom because he wears the makeup, he wears nails, heels, all that stuff. So he must also connect with that particular role, and that's not necessarily the case. And that's not the case for a lot of girls, which is what I'm finding out, which I think is very interesting. So this spectrum is a lot wider than we
Yes.
thought it is. And
We talked last episode about drag queens that will fuck the shit out of your ass. They're
Yes.
full tops.
Full.
because that's
Well,
it.
I know, because
Most people just a job.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a
You
job.
know.
Yeah.
You better catch the spirit. You better catch it, bitch.
Working real hard every day. Working with a man every night and day. Woo!
Okay. Hallelujah. But yeah, like I'm glad that we're starting to move
Won't he
toward
do it?
that the day and age where that's becoming less and less of a taboo thing to assume. I feel like it's where people are just starting to slowly allow for them to be a feminine top. I still occasionally see like, oh, he's too feminine to climb my back, all that ignorant ish.
Right.
But I just let people just be who they are. Don't feel like you have to be a certain role or play a certain role sexually in the bedroom because of how you choose to outwardly express yourself. Because your sexual position and all of that is completely separate from your expression of self.
I have a question for you because when we talked about this last time when I was experimenting in the verse sector, my persona, my everything about me changed. My femininity left me when I was putting his feet into ceilings. So it just is that something that happens for you? Like, do you find yourself in a different kind of persona when you are when you're like? Does your femininity still there, or does it leave you, or do you become another person? Because for me,
Oh, I see what you're asking. It does. It's gone. It's definitely gone. And I mean, I feel like I feel like it depends on what day, because
okay,
I feel like there's more. I'll be more if there is such a thing, feminine during like the foreplay part, but when it's time to perform the activity,
amen.
we it it's like a mode. It's like a switch.
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like performance mode, like
Very sensual.
y'all own version of Sasha Fierce. It seems like y'all just go into
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like during foreplay, you can kind of you can explore each other. Kind of build yourself up to where we do what we got to do.
I think it goes back to the age-old situation. Like, sex is a basic instinct. It is one of the most powerful, if anything. Even if we want to look at what the Bible has to say about it, it is considered a deadly sin to just be overtly sexual. So even the Bible knows the power of sex and desire. So I think because for me, when I was doing that, I was like, that was different. Like, I can't believe like I was not yes godding. And I wasn't like, girl, I was in there.
I mean, but the aesthetic, the aesthetic wouldn't even work. Just think of it like you pounding, you just like, yes, like it's daddy. Like, it wouldn't work. Why would you be calling him daddy and you knocking his walls in? Like,
I mean, that's true.
You got your legs in the air, and the I guess the soft top is doing what he needs to do, and you sitting there like, yes, sis, beat it up, sis.
Come through.
That would mess everything up.
That's what they think. That's what they think happens when they imagine somebody who is a soft top is performing, that action. That's what they imagine in their heads. Like you got two bitches over there, yes, God, and Kiki, and while they.
To be truthfully honest, I think
my God,
people that you experiment with or have that experience with during the foreplay, by you saying that you were a little bit more feminine, then they probably expect that too. But I think the reason why they don't go like yes, sis, is because they feel when the energy changes.
Yeah.
Like when you go into that mode, they can feel it. Like that, it's like an internal thing. So when they feel it, it's like, well, shit, okay, you are daddy tonight. Yeah, you done did your thing, It's just like a
Scotty like, nope.
On the flip side of this, why is it that when it's a bottom, at least from what I've experienced, the top to be like, and I literally got this. You're too aggressive. You may as well be a top if you're gonna do all that. Like
I
you're
hear
too
that all the
aggressive,
time too.
or
Oh, I don't,
you
y'all
like to
already know
take
my story.
control too much.
Terrence already called me out. I'm a pillow princess, so I'm
It's like
probably.
I
I
don't
work
know.
down
I
the
think
do not judge me, okay?
I'm
Wait,
not
God damn,
wait,
I work
that
for you,
is.
and I know that, but I am.
Remind me again what that is.
I think sometimes,
I don't do nothing. Well,
huh?
I don't
You just
basically.
lay, you just
Oh,
laid it for your child.
I straddle and I do up like a 5-minute routine. You know, I smell coconut on the dick and I do what I have to do. But for the
She
most
it's like
Ession's
I
in
don't
training to be
know.
a power top. I mean power bottom. We're in
But for
training.
me,
they
it's
don't
like
complain,
somebody to
they like doing
really.
all the work. I'm small too in frame, so I
I
think
don't know. For
getting
me,
tossed all over the room is a thing for them. What's the
I
problem
can
with
be. I
discussion?
think most tops want you to be overtly submissive to them sexually, and I don't know how to be overtly submissive. Like I cannot do that.
I know I'll teach you, child. We'll go backstage and I'll teach you. Hmm.
Like I can't do that at all. Like
Oh, again?
I need.
Oh Lord.
I feel like it
I can
depends on
be
the
just as
energy.
aggressive as they are.
Is we doing this again? Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Huh?
I can be just as aggressive. Just as aggressive.
Okay. All
I
right.
still do. I mean, have your little submissive moves, but still be you in the bedroom because that confidence is going to come from you doing what you know you can do. You know, so trying something
That's
new.
why I proclaim myself a power bottom because I know what I'm capable of doing, and that's on that, honey. Foy,
I guess when they see my face,
you're
they think
next.
I'm so quiet until it's time for
what?
me to do
Whose turn?
It's
Mine?
your turn, Foy.
that. Yours.
Oh, you can flip.
Throw it, bitch. Yes.
Position. I fall under bottom, but I will fuck you down, okay?
I need another drink, bitch. I'll be right back. Shit.
Oh, let me get up for a minute, baby.
Yes. Go ahead, Foy.
I
Oh,
mean, I don't know. I prefer to be a bottom, but the only time you catch me be a top is like if I'm in a relationship with you, or I just love that chemistry that we have, and I want to please you. I like to please people. I'm a Libra. We all about balance, okay? Having a good time.
I got the bike.
As for who I am most attracted to, it depends. Sometimes I'll be attracted to a femme, sometimes I'll be attracted to more manly, but again, it all depends on me actually sitting down talking to you. So that's basically it. Short,
Okay.
sweet, to the point.
D, what's T?
Hey, what's T, baby?
What's
Um, everybody assumes because I'm small. Everybody assumes because I'm small, I'm petite. I dress like somewhat feminine or androgynous sometimes that I'm a bottom, but I'm a top because it excites me more. It stimulates me more. I try bottom and I will literally just sit there, and it's not that it's painful or whatever. It's
sitting
not.
or
It's
laying?
just
Because if you're sitting,
I don't
that
feel
means you're.
anything. I feel like I'm doing a reverse.
Yes, it is.
You said, hold on, D. You said sitting there. So if
You
you're
said on
sitting,
what?
if you said you are sitting there, so that implies that you have some work. I'm just playing, but you have some advanced knowledge because the ones who don't know what they're doing just don't just sit. They just lay.
I won't say advanced.
I'm just playing. Go ahead.
I mean, like I like I said, it doesn't hurt. It's just it does not excite me. It,
Okay.
it just doesn't excite me. I will literally just be there, just regular. But when I'm topping, I feel like stimulated. I feel like, oh my God, I'm about to come, basically. That's more for me. But I had somebody tell me, and I wasn't even looking at them in this way. They said, "Oh, you cute, but you too feminine to be on top." I'm like, what the fuck does that? Like gender and sexuality are two different things.
Hmm.
See, it goes back to what we're
But
talking about. Those biggest misconceptions.
yeah, I
Everyone
just
struggle with that position decision, and it also
yeah.
goes to another question too about position shaming. You know, but go ahead, finish your thought, D. I'm sorry.
Hmm. I just it, I just feel more excited for it. Would I ever do it again? I'll try, but if it doesn't do anything for me, why am I there?
Mm. Do
Like
you feel like one day that might
it's not. I don't
open
know.
up
It's just not.
later?
Say that again.
Do you feel as if that could be something that, as because I feel as we grow, the things we like, the things we dislike, they are constantly changing. So, do you feel open to if that was something that may happen later on in life in a relationship or
It
something?
will have to be with
Okay.
in a relationship. Will have to explore how to excite me, basically.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Um.
Mm. I hope I'm not confusing anybody or anything.
No, not
Mm-mm.
at all. Very clear cut and to the point. I love it. In the words of Ebby Reviews, honey, clear and concise. Amen.
I have a question
Um,
before we get off of this. For those who are
And as
what's up? Go
¿Qué
ahead,
está
Miss.
pasando?
Go ahead, D.
I swear this
say
thing
what?
worked my nerves. Go ahead.
Oh, and the attraction thing. I'm attracted to personality more than anything.
Okay.
I would date somebody that's feminine. I'll date somebody that's masculine. Let me tell you about the masculine, muscular ones be the most bottoms.
Well, yes.
They may look masculine, but when they get into bed,
Yes.
Those are my
they
Yes.
turn into
favorite.
Yes.
bitches.
We call those
That's
gym
exciting.
bunnies. We call those gym bunnies.
Be so disappointing.
That's my favorite flavor.
Mm-mm. They be hopping. They be
What were you
hopping.
about to say, Caspian?
Huh?
You were
Yeah.
about to say something?
I was gonna ask for the individuals on the panel tonight that are strictly one position. Would you be open to being versatile to the other position for a partner, like not just a sexual experience, but for a partner?
I would change my power bottom to a verse bottom. Power bottom. That's about it.
Verse power bottom.
A
Okay.
verse power bottom. I'll fuck you once a weekend. That's about it.
Okay.
Birthdays, holidays, Jesus' birthday, Valentine's Day, Halloween, definitely Halloween because that's when I can become who I want to become. Hallelujah. Um, and that's about my birthday. Well, my birthday, I'm strictly a power.
Of course.
I'll change though. I feel like because in relationships you have to give a little. You have to compromise, and again, it's also about growth. You can't always stay the same forever. And if you really love someone, you will compromise some things. And to me, sexuality is fluid. It should be fluid. And I feel like you shouldn't just constrict yourself to just one position because you never know. The person you love may like a little dick every now and then too, child. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't gonna give it to them, they're gonna find it from somewhere else.
And somewhere else.
Hey, Hermit, what's tea?
Hey, Hermit.
Hmm.
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 I agree with what
Hey, Hermit
you
TV.
said. I've always said I would be open to it, but I would have to be so sure that this person was going to be my husband.
Yeah.
That I would be. I feel like because those would have to be the criteria for my mind and my mental to be into what's ever going on.
Mm.
Like if it's just somebody that I'm just casual with, or that I don't really know that well, that I may just have a physical
Mm.
surface level of attraction to, it's not happening.
Okay.
I feel like it's not. It wouldn't be for me. But
I
I could
understand.
imagine
I
it.
understand him saying that it's a mental thing and that he has to prepare because by that being your husband, you're gonna have to bend over for him a couple of times in life. You know, so you gotta like really prepare yourself. It's not gonna be a one-time thing.
You don't want it to be viewed as a chore.
Who
You
done
want
broke in someone's house, child? Who done broke in someone's house?
Not here.
What's up? It's me, D. Are you okay, bitch?
I'm here. I'm trying.
Are you okay? I just heard
What happened?
an alarm, child. But ring the alarm. What's the T? Is Beyonce there?
What was going on?
that was interesting.
Oh my God.
What did you hear?
Make sure my brothers in Christ are good, child.
Oh my God.
Bro, fireworks and gunshots to alarms, bitch. Something happened tonight.
They was
To be
shooting
honest, they over here blasting.
Oh my God, I can't.
No, they blasting the fire. They blasting the fireworks over here. Fireworks.
I was through.
But yeah,
They over here blasting these.
that's fine.
I don't know. In my God, today.
Oh my
But
God.
to answer Captain Meow's question, for somebody that I'm dating that I'm in love with, I would try, like I said earlier, I would try to see what ways we can basically stimulate each other.
Right.
To answer the question, it's not really an issue because I have a natural talent of turning people out. So,
Ooh.
Yes.
so
What is going on?
just saying.
Yes. Maybe when I say it's me, is over there cackling. Okay.
I am.
I will answer this question really quickly. I want to raise Monk Chip's question real quick, and then we're going to go on to the final topic of tonight, which will be dating, relationships, and sex. And that, to me, is the meat potatoes. I guess I should have started off with this one because I think this is what's really going to engage this conversation even more. I did say hour 30, but fuck it. We're just going to go as long as it fucking takes because we are here to serve truth and justice. And if anybody has to leave, feel free to bow out if you need to leave because I didn't expect us to go this long. But when good conversation happens and it's organic, we just got to run with it. Yes, God?
Amen.
Chip wants to know, does anyone want to be married? Does anyone want kids? I'll answer for myself. Yes, I will be married in about 3 fucking years probably because I'm an old-fashioned kind of bitch. I'm currently in a situationship. Hopefully that leads to what I'm looking for. Hallelujah. If it doesn't, fuck it. I'm adopting by the time I'm 40 years old. Because I already realized I might not be a rich bitch, so ain't no hoe finna be sitting out here paying a bitch and doing all this stuff to have artificial insemination or going through that whole surrogacy shit. Ain't nobody got time for that. Running behind some girl and paying all this money when I can just go ahead and adopt a child who actually needs a home. I don't really too much care about bloodline teas. All I care about is raising my child to be strong, healthy, and to be a confident motherfucker in this life. You always got to pass down your shit somehow. And it doesn't always have to be a blood child. So, yes, I would love a kid. I would love to be married. But if the marriage part don't happen, the kid is happening regardless, bitch.
Amen.
Okay.
I'll go next. I want both, for sure. I think not necessarily a day goes by because I feel like I fall into like a hopeless romantic. I want the wedding, the reception, the big house with a picket fence and a dog. I want all of that.
Amen.
I had this discussion with one of my exes before, actually, and he wanted to. He was in that he wanted to adopt. He felt that we wanted to adopt. I personally would not, because something I've always really wanted to see, and it's like a life goal, is to pass down and see myself in my offspring, because I feel like I want that level of a bond. And then I also want them to be around my family, because being around my family gave me, great aspects of history, who I am, and I want to be able to provide that to my child, that they can see where they came from. They'll have a better idea or sense of self. And I can see, like, again, parts of myself being passed down along with my partner. Now, ideally, is if my partner has a blood sister, that would be the best way so that they would have attributes from their family and mine, is to use, her sister's eggs. But I have a cousin who's a nurse now, and she said that she would carry for free.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I
Yes.
need the partner and the egg from somewhere.
Okay.
So I want it. Definitely trying. I'm not sure how I don't know how the gay weddings go, what the agenda is as compared to the heteronormative wedding ceremony, but
As long as it's not Noah Ark-esque, we're good, honey. We're good. We're good. We can go to Martha's Vineyard, child, but
Yes,
how
we can.
Well,
For me, yes and yes. As far as children, um, I'm probably gonna do that like late 30s, early 40s, because in my 20s I was figuring out myself. So when people say you should be selfish in your 20s and travel and do all of this and do all of that, I'm gonna have to do that in my 30s because I'm a late bloomer. So I want to be able to live my entire life. Because when I have kids, they are my entire life.
hmm
Parents ain't getting it ain't my parents are gonna be begging for my kids because they're not going nowhere. Those are my kids. And I want to learn my kids and I want to love my kids and I want to be in their lives every second of the day. But as far as a wedding, and as far as how to get them, I want to do twins. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to consider what my husband wants, but the decision is already made. I want twins and I want a girl and a boy. And hopefully we get to combine that together and then it will be, one of the children will have his energy and his DNA and the other will have mine. Because I'm like Jamar, I kind of want to see myself through somebody. Like I want to see myself grow up, but I'm also into like, maybe once I'm settled and rich and famous, maybe wanting adopting a couple kids because I would love to give that opportunity to somebody. And knowing people who have gone through the foster system, I just don't want. I don't want to sit by and know that a child is going through that, and I can help, and I have the means to help, and I can, But as far as the wedding, yes, I want a wedding. I actually want 3 costume changes, and
not 3
I
costume
do.
changes.
I do, and
For a pillow princess, you want to do a lot of shit.
I do. I plan on being rich. I plan on being rich when all of this. I don't want to get married to a broke bitch, and I don't want to have kids with no broke bitch.
I know that's right.
I'm not kids. I'm not.
Come on.
I know that's right.
And plus, I'm gay, so I'm not gonna slip up and have no kids. If I have a child, it's
intentional.
I'm not gonna bring no child into this world. I'm broke. It's fun, girl. Who?
I know that's right.
Right.
Oh.
I guess I'll go next. I'll say yes to both as well.
Who's next?
I would like to have 3 nappy-headed kids, 2 dogs, and a black metal electrical gate around it. Okay. As for
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Where did the black gate come from?
the black gate, because I'm tired of the white picket fence.
Why that cat can be curly and
Because that's the whole light skin versus dark skin, good hair versus nappy hair, and
I'm here for all hair.
all hair.
I'm here for all hair.
So I want to show love because, especially me, I got nappy hair. That's why that's why you don't see it.
I'm living for that. Is that velvet?
Yes.
I know that's right.
As for marriage, I do, but I honestly see myself too complicated to date anybody at the moment. So I don't know.
Anyone else?
That's me.
Scotty,
Yes. I don't think. Not right now. Maybe in 10 years time, I'll concentrate on being married and kids. But as of right now, that's not in the cards for me. That's not in the quest for me. If it happens, I'll let it happen. I'll let it happen. I'm not going to search for it though.
Mm.
I can see that.
For
I
me,
can see that. I can see that.
um, I'm not sure about marriage right now. I've never been sure about marriage, but you know, it's like right now I'm at a point, and I think I'm in a phase right now where I'm just trying to rebuild myself, and because the last relationship that I was in was
Huh?
terrible and draining and just kind of changed my outlook on relationships altogether. It kind of, I'm still trying to heal because, I'm slowly but surely coming out of that phase of I'm never going to get married or anything like that because I don't trust no nigga enough to be married to them forever. You know
Mm.
what I mean? I'm kind of
Mm.
coming out of that
Mm-hmm.
slowly but surely. But you never know with the marriage thing. Who knows? I don't know right now. It may happen, it may not. I don't know. But I do know for a fact that I do not want any kids. I don't.
Okay. All right. So
I
getting
don't
into
want
the
any kids.
last subject for today. Topic number 3 is dating and relationships. So basically, through that conversation, a lot of these questions were answered. So let's just do a free for all situation where there has always been a struggle with dating in our community. Please share any experiences you may have had, whether they are good or bad. Um, and if you have been in a relationship, please share some of your experiences and the things that you learned along the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, for me, I've never truly been in a real relationship. I was one of those people that I got turned out when I was young, when I was about 11 years old. Um, and it became more of a sex thing for me than it became actually finding love. So I always believe that it's always how you start out. And unfortunately, in my situation, again, it was everything was driven by sex because that's what was introduced to me. And unfortunately, when you're young, how you start is a lot of times how you end up finishing or sometimes leading your life. So for me, that's what led. So I didn't really find any comfort or to the give a fuck to even want to be enthralled in any kind of relationship. But what I did realize is that through that loneliness, because what did Luther say, honey? Loneliness is just a sad affair, honey. Okay. And it
Mm.
surely was. Because while these boys are going back to their baby mama's child or whatever relationship they came from or whatever life they came from, after 12 midnight, it's like Cinderella. The slipper is gone. The carriage and turned back into a pumpkin, and I'm a lonely bitch
Mm.
again. So that
Mhm.
instant gratification that I got from the sex, it never really seemed to satisfy me. So then as I got older, I was like, damn, I really would like to be involved in something romantic where it's more than just sex. So again, just relationship situationships that I thought were. I was with this dusty fucker for about 3.5 years who I thought I was in a relationship with. Unfortunately, it was just I had to wake up and realize because when you're young and dumb and full of cum, you make dumbass mistakes with raggedy ass niggas. So
Mhm.
the breaking point for me was waking up realizing I wasn't in love with him. I was in love with the sex. I was in lust with this motherfucker. So
Mm.
getting myself out of that headspace in like 3 years with someone, but then again, I knew I wasn't in love because I was fucking someone else, and then eventually we all had a threesome. It was everything, honey. Yes, God. But again, that and that is true, T. And I bring it off as a joke, but that just goes to show you that the mind frame that I had at that age was I was still leading with sex, even though I was still searching for love.
Mm-hmm.
So all I just really want to say, because I don't have that much experience in relationships, I'm learning that now in the situation that I'm in currently. And I love it. I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning a lot about the other person, and it's vice versa.
Mm.
And I'm just going to see where it takes me. So, unfortunately, for the relationship aspect, I don't have any advice to give on that because I'm still learning. So, I'm just going to go ahead and pass it off to the panel. And if you guys can just share maybe relationship situations, things that you've learned, you know, what's T? You want to start?
Okay, well,
Okay.
I'll go ahead. I would say that my last relationship was a big lesson. To be honest, like I've had several relationships in the past. One of my very first relationships, my very first relationship, I was 20. And this was the same man who took my virginity and all of that. And I would never say that that was the worst relationship because it was actually the best one. The only problem was he was in love with another man, so we broke
Mm,
up. And
mm,
then maybe 6 months later, I got involved with another man. He was on a down low,
mm,
and that began my addiction to toxicity, which is what I was talking about on one of me and Jamar's episode of the Prelude. I discussed my addiction to toxic men, and that was the beginning of my addiction to toxic men. I was 21 years old. He was on a down low, and I was trying to respect his position. And it's kind of like, when you're dealing with the down low man, it's a lot of emotional abuse. It was never no
and
hands put
self
on
hate.
me, more like in self hate. It was never no hands put on me, more so hands put on him. But it's kind of like that's where the cycle began. And I want to say that my last relationship I got in, it really made me look at the way that I handle relationships and how I turn a blind eye to a lot of things. Because when I first got involved with him, I was told things about him. And I don't know if this is a bad thing, but what I don't like is when you get involved with someone, everybody has a story to tell. Like everybody, I heard about this person, I heard he did that, I heard, and I don't listen to that. You know what I mean? So I had friends that was telling me things about him. Like it was a lot of negative things. And because I really liked him, I wanted to give him a shot. I wouldn't say I pushed everybody that had something negative to say away. I didn't do that, but I just didn't want to hear the negativity because I was happy. At least I thought I was. I was so happy, and it's kind of like I started doing things that I never had to do. You know, I was taking care of him in a sense. Like when he fell on the hardship, I began to help him. Like I was paying car notes and phone bills and stuff. I had
Oh
never
man,
done that before. And I only did it because
nothing.
I really, really cared about him and I was falling in love with him. And I wanted to show that I was a good guy or that I would have his back in a sense. You know how you feel like you got to prove something. And even though I knew that the relationship wasn't good for me, I stayed because I wanted to prove a point. I wanted to prove that A, I could have a man, B, I could keep one, C, I could be happy like everybody else. But deep down, I knew that I wasn't happy because at the end of the day, it's kind of like, what's a relationship where you're holding all of the weight? You know what I mean? Like we were together for 7, 8 months and we never had sex. We
You're
never
dropping
had
draws
sex.
on the first date, honey. I need
We
to know what
never
I'm into.
we never had sex. It's not because I didn't want to do it. It's because he always made an excuse as to why we couldn't do it. It was never me. My sex drive is like this. His excuse was his sex drive is lower than mine. So it's like he would make an excuse. So I was like, well, is there someone else? And he was like, well, no, it's nobody else. And then, it'll be little things that I notice, like we're supposed to go out on a date. I get stood up. You want to meet my people. I get them all together at a restaurant. We waiting on you to come and you stand me up again.
Mm,
Or, you just
Mm.
You want to come to my high school homecoming. Homecoming is a big deal around here. You know what I mean? And when he met my friends, they was telling him about it. We were supposed to get together for that. All my friends at the homecoming thing, they were waiting on him to come, and I look like an idiot because he never showed. You know,
Mm.
you constantly embarrassing me in a sense, and I'm steady taking it. You know what I'm saying?
Going through that
So
experience,
it,
what would you share with people? Looking back on that, what did you learn from that? And what advice would you give to someone that is experiencing something like that in their relationship? Because it
well,
sounds like
first
to
of
me that
all,
you were pouring more into him than he ever wanted to pour into you, and he was playing defense.
he never he never poured anything to me. Never poured anything into me. Like I'm gonna tell you another thing in regards to this relationship. You know, I told you guys, Jamar knows this personally, and I think I told you when it catch me out this one time we were backstage after an interview or something like that.
I remember.
And
I'm trying to act like I don't remember, so we can come.
yeah, but you know, in November, me and my family ended up being homeless. You
Mm,
know,
Oh
we
my
had to
God.
live in a hotel after we lost our house.
Mm.
mm.
And he knew about that. And I think once that situation started, I started to see things in a different way because if you have a boyfriend and you know that his family is about to lose their home, and your boyfriend asks you, "Hey, could you give us a hand on Sunday for moving? You know, we need some extra hands. Can you give us a hand?" And he says he doesn't want to help you move, but you paying
Wait, he
his
just
car
literally
notes
said,
and
"I
stuff
don't
like
want
that.
to help you."
Did he say it like
He was
outright,
like,
or did he try to just come up with an excuse?
Right? Did he give you an excuse, or did he just outright say, "I don't want to help you"?
he just straight up said this. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I don't think I'm gonna do all this.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
he
Well, your
said.
phone will be disconnected.
We're done. Like we are.
Child.
Because I mean, what kind?
Bye bye.
That's a lack of partnership right there. That's a bunch just abrupt.
Like, yeah, it was like when once I realized that, I was like, really? You know what I mean? So at that point, it's like I'm at my lowest point, and it took me to be at my lowest point for me to realize certain things. So I'm like, you knew what me and my family was going through when it first started, and now that it's happening, you're not even gonna help me out. Or after we finally got our stuff out the house, I was in a hotel room. We was at the La Quinta Inn. That's where we stayed at the week we had to leave. And I was in the bathroom. He texted me, and first it was good morning, as he always would say. And I said good morning. You know what he texted me after that, y'all?
What?
He texts me, mind you, mind you, we just lost our place of residence 2 days prior to this. So you know what's going on. We don't even know where we're gonna live.
Hmm.
I You asked me after I tell you good morning back, you say, babe, can you pay my car note? Really?
What? What?
you
Really?
should
Wait.
have
Wait.
you should have just responded with LOL.
Oh my God.
I responded with, really? Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like certain things like that started happening, and I was like, okay, this ain't gonna last. And it's like that was like maybe 2 before Thanksgiving, and I was saying to one of my friends, mind you, we're supposed to be in a relationship, but I haven't even seen you in almost a month. Like I haven't even seen you. You haven't came up to see me or anything
I've
like
been
that.
there.
And it's kind of like,
Mm.
so Thanksgiving was coming up, and my friends were asking me, well, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? I said, I really don't know. They said, well, are you gonna be your boyfriend? I said, he hasn't mentioned anything to me. So they was like, well, you can know if this is really real if you ask him what he doing for Thanksgiving if he includes you in his plans. And if he doesn't include you in his plans, you already know what you're dealing with. So I said, okay. I
Mm.
texted him and I said, what you doing next week for Thanksgiving? Oh, I'm gonna probably be with my family. Hmm.
Well,
I'm not a part of those plans right now. He was like, well, due to my financial situation, I don't think it's the right time for you to meet my family. But you felt like it was such a great time for you to meet mine and eat their food, do this and do that. You know what I
but what
mean?
is your financial situation with
What
me?
finances got to do anything though? What finances?
What does that have to do
What
with
what
meeting
did
my?
that have, what does that have to do with me meeting your family? You don't need finances for that. You met mine. You met my mom. You know what I mean? So what are you saying? So after that, it was pretty much like the beginning of the end. And I remember on Thanksgiving, I think, Thanksgiving's on a Thursday and I get paid every Thursday. And he knew that. So it
Mm.
was Tuesday and he tried to ask me for money. And he was like, you get paid tomorrow, right?
Scotty,
I
I need
said,
my
don't you
light
get
bill
paid?
paid. What's tea? I
Don't
get
you
passing
know?
out all these
I'm
coins.
not in, I'm
Shit.
not in the business of paying anybody's bills at this point.
Okay, because
So,
you setting the scale low, bitch. Rent is coming on the first.
Okay, and we
listen,
got about a week.
after that,
A week.
Okay.
listen, so once I didn't give him that money before Thanksgiving, I kind of knew what was going on. And after that, he was talking about his phone was going to get cut off. And I was just like, okay, well, it's just going to get cut off because I'm not giving you no money.
Okay.
And then,
Now you the best.
so maybe a couple of days, yeah, and a couple of days later, we broke up. Because I asked him, did he really want to be in this relationship? Because I felt like he didn't. I said, just keep it real. You really don't want to be here, and you're only here for your own personal benefit. And he was like, I just don't think it's the right time. My financial situation, my financial situation, my financial situation, it's always about your financial situation. So I said, so what do you want to do? You either want to break up with me, or you want to separate, or you want to take a break. Either way, this conversation is leading to separation. So which one is it? He
Mm.
said he didn't know what he wanted to do. So I told him, I'll let you live. I'll walk away.
Okay.
But after I
Mm.
walked away, I learned that he was already with somebody. So it's like,
I
really?
can't.
You know what I mean? So you were
Niggas ain't
already
shit.
with someone. Right. And so when I asked him about it, and you know what? After we done broke up now, it's only been a couple of days. You changed your relationship status to in a relationship because you never
Mm.
made that your relationship status while we were together. So after we broke up, now you're in a relationship.
Listen.
So when I say something to you about it, you deny it and say it's just a joke. You're just playing with somebody. It's not. You're not in a
Girl,
relationship.
uh-uh.
Like I'm supposed to be stupid. I know what's going on here. I got the receipts. The only thing about it is you got me on restricted on Facebook, so I can see what you're doing, but my friends can. You're dumb. You don't even see that I know what's going on here. And I had been knowing everything that was going on, and the more I was finding out what was going on, the more upset I was getting because of the simple fact that he was still lying. You know what I mean? Then his
Mm,
birthday
mm,
was coming up,
mm, mm.
and he decided to say, "So what am I getting for my birthday?"
Nothing.
Nothing. We're not
Nothing.
together.
The
I,
same thing you gave me this
ask your nigga about it.
relationship for.
Dust? You getting dust?
I had a user
You
too.
know,
The fuck?
ask your nigga to buy you
And I
something
think
for your
even though
birthday.
we're
You know
married,
what I
we
mean?
gotta start realizing and trusting that we have a fucking intuition. Scotty, you knew that shit was off long before you got tea. You knew something was off.
I did.
We gotta start trusting that
I
feeling.
did.
Something is off, bitch. We ain't got gas. It's off.
Because what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to because I was just saying I'm being paranoid. That's the first thing I was
We
saying.
always
You're
say we
being
being
paranoid.
paranoid, and they always make us feel like we being paranoid, but we got that gut feeling for a reason, boo.
But what made it
Mm.
so bad
Turned
though
out to be a fuckboy.
was when. But let me tell you what make it bad. And my story is about to end at this point. This is what make it so bad. And I told you my this. Now, after I done found out you got a man, but you keep denying it,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that other stuff. My friend went to the club one night. He did a show. The ex boyfriend now did a show. The best. My friend told me exactly how his new boyfriend looked from head to fucking toe, and I'm like, that's him. So I blocked his number. And when his birthday came, I told everybody happy birthday that I knew on Facebook except for him. And so he wrote me on Facebook saying, I guess the nigga blocked from your phone. I ain't say nothing back. So once I didn't say anything back, he removed me as a friend on Facebook after that. Now he's mad. And then he started saying, I can't believe that you wouldn't even tell me happy birthday. I can't believe that you would do this. That really hurt my fucking feelings that you did that. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, really? So
Girl,
then I didn't say nothing else. You know, it's like, so you're trying to make me feel bad now. Now you're trying to play with my intelligence. Now you're trying to manipulate and
What is that?
gaslight me. Like I don't know what, you know what I mean? So are you serious? So what make it so bad? This nigga that you're with got the same birthday as me. The exact same birthday. We were both born February the 12th. Then you wish me a happy birthday. You find me on Instagram and you wish me a happy birthday. And then on Valentine's Day when I see your post, we broke up on November the 30th, you guys. On his Valentine's Day post with his new man, he said he's been with his new man since November the 24th. But we broke up on the 30th. So what does that tell you?
well,
And
Well,
I rest my case.
well, I mean, as far as the relationship goes, I mean, mine very quick because I've had two relationships, but I made the
Let me
same
just
mistake twice.
you told me to let that go. Just to let you know.
Huh?
I said you told me to drop him anyway. Just to let you know that
Yes, a
before
long
you
time
went.
ago. But
Okay.
um, the biggest advice is you have to make sure that you do the work and build the foundation of the relationship first as friends. Because my both of my relationships became or we skipped the whole friend stage basically. We met, we found out we were really attracted to each other, so we just started claiming each other and we just went right in. And it once we kind of got to know, we spent more time around each other. Long story short, we figured out it doesn't work. Like that spark and that whole newness of it fizzled very fast. And it just became a situation that we were much better. We would have probably made, or we do make great friends, because I'm actually friends with both of my exes to this day. We make so much better of a friendship than opposed to a relationship. And I feel like had we taken the time to get to know each other a lot better, we would have figured that out before going through this whole process of pain and misery. And even though if you try to do that, because some people try to be friends with their exes, like there was that period of semi awkwardness when, okay, we're broken up, we've been broken up for about, say, 6 months, for example. Because we communicate regularly, it was strange at first to try to tell them about other people that you're dating and to hear about other people that they're dating and not feel away.
mm,
But I mean, I just feel like it's so important to build a relationship and make sure that you get to know who you're about to get in a relationship with. Because
Mhm.
when you're trying to get into a relationship, that means that you're saying you're going to spend a lot of time, energy, money, lots of things that's hard to replenish if you can at all.
Right.
So it's very important to try to get to know somebody, spend that time, because I think a lot of us skip that step because we don't like to be alone. We like the novelty of having a man, so we can post our man on Instagram for Man Crush Monday, and we just don't want to be the lonely bitch. But I'm just like,
That's so true.
it is so much worse to be in a dead ass relationship than being single. Let me say
mhm.
that again. It is so
It's
Yeah.
much
it's
worse
true.
to be in a dead ass relationship than be single.
Right.
It is so draining.
That's
Yeah.
true though. That's true because I feel like just like what you said, sometimes we want to be in a relationship and show our nigga off and all this other stuff because you see it all the time on Facebook. You see all these happy looking couples and not realizing that behind the pictures it's not all that happy as they proclaim it to be a lot of the times. A lot of the times people post a lot of pictures to prove a fucking point when their relationship is the shittiest out of everybody's. But that's another damn topic for another day. So for me, I didn't want to be alone. I wanted to post pictures of me and my dude too. And that's another thing that catch me. I said I knew what was going on because I had tons of pictures with this dude and never posted them. Why? Because he was private.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
But now
So
he's with his other dude that he posting pictures all the time now. Mm.
mm.
let me.
Guess who's not that private?
Well, I'll let everybody finish this because I'm curious to know do y'all feel like that's important to showcase your partner on social media? Is that like a proof
Let me tell
of
you
love?
Not really.
I don't think it's
I don't think so.
I don't want to be restricted to not be able to do it. If I want to be able to post a picture or if I want to, I should be able to. I don't want it to be a restriction that I gotta check with you to see if it's okay. Like but then again
Right.
I'm private myself. I don't want people in my business. So I
Would you
I
want
feel like
think
Yeah,
it's a
I don't have
personal
to
a
post
personal
it.
decision.
if they
Definitely a
didn't?
personal
Yeah,
decision.
like I don't have to post it. I could post it every now and then, but sometimes like when you constantly post a picture, like when you constantly post about your dude in your whole Facebook account, Twitter, whatever becomes about your dude, people find a way to pick it apart and find a reason to throw shade or find a reason to throw a wrench or whatever you got going on. So sometimes it's admirable to post your partner all the time, but sometimes it's smart not to post them too
mm,
much because
Yeah.
people would try to find a way to ruin what you got going on.
right.
Hmm. Um. I guess for me, I can't really say I've been in a relationship. I mean, the people I so-called dated, I'm starting to learn is not.
Mm.
I wasn't really in a dating relationship. Meaning we never did anything I consider couple worthy. Going outside the four walls. Um, and I'm starting to learn that it's like Jamar said, it takes work and communication and
Mhm.
trust.
What
And
takes time to heal?
and like you gotta first of all, if anything for advice, you gotta know your worth. Because I've been in situations where I was emotionally abused. Um,
Yes, sir.
been into user relationships. Um, and I felt shitty about myself. I was like, well, I'm gonna just die alone with my 300 cats. um, I, and you can't have your heart on your sleeve because, especially with me, I was emotional when the whole relationship thing happened, with the whole breakups, because it's to the point where it's
Mm.
like, well, God, why you put me on this earth for me to be alone like this?
Mm.
It gets to that point, and you just, like I said, you gotta know your worth. You gotta know you're better than this. You gotta have a good support system to tell you this nigga ain't shit. And
And I had that and still didn't.
hmm hmm you just gotta have a good foundation of yourself around of people around you, and you just gotta read the signs. You gotta know the signs to fill your gut, cause
Let me tell y'all something real quick. As I'm listening, I know the fireball is about to take control of me, but as I listen to all of your stories about these fuck niggas,
mhm.
I'm ready to put on my suit
I
and
know.
fly to these destinations and kill all of these motherfuckers for y'all.
Can we put the nigga I was telling you
I
about?
would love
I
if
got
you
my fucking nigga story too.
They just get rid of him. He right down the
I got
street.
a story about that.
Real quick.
Kill these motherfuckers. Because
We
But
I don't
I'm
think
gonna say this too.
when people make you feel less than, when they make you feel question your own esteem of self, when these motherfuckers have the nerve and audacity to incite their own insecurities on you. Because it's like Keisha Cole said, honey, you lied, you cheat, you putting it on me, but you're the one out there really doing the fuckery. And it goes to the same with how niggas try to make you feel like fuck hell to the fuck no, bitch. Like I got the Tupac in the car. What is the T, bitch?
I'm a, like,
Man.
I think this conversation is therapeutic for me that we're talking about it because I'm still like kind of just trying to heal from this situation, and
Mhm.
I just feel like that that situation really broke me down. Like when we broke up, I just felt like I was nothing. Like it just made me feel
Mm.
like I was a joke. Like it really it just bruised my entire ego. Like I just thought that it was just something wrong with me, and it just went back to what I was thinking before I got with him. Like I already had this self-esteem issue, so it's kind of like when that happened, I'm like, really? So now it's like I started questioning myself. I said, "Am I ugly?" Because normally when a motherfucker use you like that, they just they using you. They really don't want to talk to you like that. They don't want to be. I can't post no pictures of you and I, so I must not be appealing to you. Or you got something else going on. Somebody else is better. You chose another person over me. It's just and then because of my self esteem going so low at that time, and I'm guessing because of everything that I was going through at that time, like with us losing our home, and I had just lost, we just lost our home like 3 weeks prior to us breaking up. I'm guessing because I was already going through enough at that time,
Mhm.
and for that to happen, it made my days even darker because I was thinking that with that happening to me, maybe he would be there for me and be that shining light that I needed him to be, but he wasn't. And I was
Mm-hmm.
disappointed. And it was kind of
Mm.
like,
Do you feel?
it kind of felt like this, it was like that.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Scotty, but what I'm feeling here is, and I think all of us can relate to this, and I can't speak for you guys, and let me know
Mm-hmm.
if I'm wrong. It seems as if we all in some way are broken, and it seems like these men have found a way to use that to their advantage. It
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
goes from like trying to figure yourself out. How Jamar was talking about predators, that you got to be mindful of those raggedy bitches, because they'll come into your life unexpectedly at a point where you're the most vulnerable, and then you're just
Mm-hmm.
gonna sit there and accept any and all these things that later on you realize in retrospect you should never accept it. So it just seems as if we all share a similarity to that story. Like, bitch, when you're a hurt person, if you come from some type of traumatic, experiences, people, it's crazy how the predator can sense that in you and and try to use it to their advantage and fuck you over. And that is sad. And I would like to leave that with a message to all these raggedy niggas out here that do fuckery like that. Karma is a
Mm.
wonderful bitch. She always comes back around and she will get you, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Karma has already visited the person I'm talking about.
Yes,
Because the
Scott.
Right.
same man that he did what he did with is cheating on him, disrespecting him left to right. He makes a status every other day on Facebook that's sent to me every other day about how miserable he is. So
And you
I
see,
didn't have to do
for him, he's still
anything.
with the guy. So obviously, he was strong enough to break your heart, but he ain't strong enough to leave that nigga that's fucking him over. So
Mm-hmm.
karma's a
Mm.
bitch.
Exactly.
Very much so.
And it was something else I was about to say. I totally forgot what it was, but I think that I think I have had a lot of breakups before, but I just really didn't take that one too well. It started to consume me. I hated him. I wanted bad shit to happen to him. And then, because I'm so open with everything that goes on in my life and I talk about it on my channel, it's like sometimes when people comment and they say things like, say for instance, if I'm talking about Evelyn or something like that, that's why you can't keep a man. That's why your man did this to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, this shit be stinging the fuck out of me sometimes because it's kind of like I can't keep a man, obviously. So I mean, maybe what you're saying is true, because it's ugh. I ain't gonna. I'm
I
never gonna
think
lie about how something makes me feel sometimes, because it
Mm-mm.
does.
what we look for in men, we should be looking for in ourselves.
Right.
Like,
Hmm.
Hmm.
man shouldn't fulfill or complete us. It should add to the happiness we already have. And I think when we look for a man to fulfill
No.
that we shouldn't be fulfilling, it's like a we set the bar and the expectation too high, and then it's like we give him a job that he was never equipped to perform.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, now we're at that point because when you're going through the motions, you're leading with your heart. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, the heart is a raggedy bitch. She will make you feel like you are drunk in love, Beyonce, Jay-Z tease, or she will make you feel miserable, motherfucker. And it's sad because it's embedded in our psyche. And look at me, fuck all of that shit I'm trying to talk about, honey. Everybody need to grab their motherfucking shit, stand in your truth, love yourself. Don't let these motherfuckers out here make you feel less than.
And
Don't let
here's
them
Exactly.
make you feel like you don't have that you don't have the wherewithal to get through
dear,
because
dear,
we're talking about points now that we're finally here realizing these things, and you have people currently going through things that, and we're not here to judge, we're not here to tell you that what you're doing is wrong or what has happened to you is wrong. We're just here to provide clarity, some type of shared experience so that we all can understand and connect and learn and grow, bitch. Okay, the
I
fireball is
think one of my mistakes. Sorry. I think one of the mistakes I made in dating is that I allow people to choose me and I didn't choose them.
say that again.
Like like I allow people to choose me and I didn't choose them. Like I settled with that person. Like
That's
that
powerful.
person saw me, they sought me out. But then I sought you out, basically. Like I allowed myself to be like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. Not knowing,
That's
not
interesting.
allow myself to see that you weren't not for me.
Well, I think that goes to, past, trauma and loneliness. We tend to accept things we
Hmm.
shouldn't, but because this person is showing interest when no one else is, it's an exciting moment for anyone. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, when I got my first piece of trade, I was like, bitch, you can tell me nothing, honey. You, bitch, where?
I
You can
swear to
tell me
God.
nothing. And, like,
Well,
it becomes a thing. But in realizing that your first piece of trade probably wasn't you shouldn't have had sex with him. You shouldn't have been with that first one. You know what I'm saying? It's all
mm-hmm.
a learning experience.
I agree. That's why I say like it's good to get into this kind of lifestyle when you're a little bit older, as opposed to trying to come out and be this big homosexual by the age of 12 or 13. Because
Okay.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
yeah,
And again, I want to expound on what I said earlier in the live. Coming out, there's after effects. And same thing with earthquake, there's the aftershock, and it lasts well within probably most of us a lifetime, whether we want to see it or not. But most of that comes in with the self-hating mentality that I always talk about on my channel. Again, with our community as Black people, for centuries and centuries, you're told Black is wrong. They're always trying to relate Black to negativity. Same thing with the gays. There's always this thing you hear, you hear, you hear. We don't want to be fucked up with y'all. We don't want this. These faggots are this. Yeah, 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 yeah. You hear that so much, you begin to doubt your own, who you are, your identity.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to question your confidence even at times. When I could be the most confident person. I'm extremely confident, but sometimes I hear so much bullshit and noise in the background of life that it makes me question myself sometimes.
mm,
And sometimes we get too much
Mm-hmm.
into negativity too, because it's kind of like even with us doing YouTube, every bitch in the comment section can be saying something positive, but that one speck that has something negative to say would take away from everything that you just did. It's like these people are telling you how much they love you, but then this one person say one fucked up thing, and that's the comment that you respond to. I know I do it a lot, and I don't try to do that, but sometimes
Yeah,
we give negativity too much. We feed it too much. We don't feed the positivity
yeah.
enough, but we're always feeding the negative all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Agreed.
again,
Sometimes that negativity is yourself too.
that's true.
Sometimes that negativity
Mm-hmm.
is you, which is
Well, it
unfortunate.
kills me
Well,
That's true
because
too.
being a smaller YouTuber, when I'm subscribed to larger YouTubers and I comment, I always get overlooked, which is fine. I understand it, but I notice you'll go back and cuss a bitch out real quick who didn't like what it was that you were talking about. So it's just like, why don't you acknowledge the positivity that's in the building instead of the negativity? But again, I think all of it has a piece to play when we talk about past trauma and the obvious the self-hating mentality because that's something we're going to deal with. Um, we've been
Yeah,
running
because
2 hours
it's
and
the mentality.
huh?
I was piggybacking off what you said.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I said I was piggybacking off what you said.
Okay.
But I think it's that mentality. It's kind of like when someone says something negative to you, you feel like you got to read them the fuck down, and that could be your
Yeah,
defense. Like that's what it's been for me. Like if you say something negative to me, I'm gonna curse you the fuck out. Like don't start none, won't be none over here. That's just the mentality I got. Don't start none, won't be none. I ain't gonna never start.
Hmm.
Don't start none, won't be none. That's what I have to keep
Okay.
saying every time.
Well, all in all, we're going to come to a close. I don't know if you guys want to sit backstage for a minute and cackle. But I do want to acknowledge the chat real quick. I do appreciate you guys for coming through the Yes God Roundtable Season 1, Episode number 2, bitch. And will all the panel members please put your information in the chat so people can easily access you when this video is uploaded. As soon as YouTube decides to put it up, I will already have all of your information in the description box. So everyone in the chat, please support everyone you see here. The Cat's Meow, Jamar84. Thank you so much for coming on, Boo. I really do appreciate your presence.
Absolutely.
And just based on what I have seen today, let me tell you this. I say it in the chat when you're doing the prelude with Scotty, but I really do live for you, and I love the grounded nature that you possess. And you've been a wonderful addition to the Yes God Roundtable. So thank you so much.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Yes, God. And hopefully we get to have you on again soon.
Absolutely. You just let me know.
Yes, God. For the
Get
artist,
your face out there, bitch. Get your face out there.
what happened? I'm
um,
sorry, what?
I said, I told you, Mike, get your face out there. Get your face out there. I'm
yeah,
telling him to
let
get
me
his,
tell you something. Like
promote himself.
things have happened so organically between like the Just Us League and just also the outsiders that are Just Us League adjacent. For the artist, it's me, D. Like it's really crazy. Like when you just because before I'm very standoffish in my real life. I'm very loner tease
Mm-hmm.
to myself. So just like having an opportunity to open up to people who are like-minded and that share similar experiences, and even if they are different, just coming together and just sharing in that, and you'll be surprised like how much you have in common with people. And again, letting my walls down. Well, girl.
I was but I was hoping we could let the moment pass.
But so I gotta call out the nasty nuances. Yes, God. But I
Oh
do
God.
appreciate you guys being able to come on here and share. And again, Jamar being open to this. This fireball is wrecking my ass, bitch. But for the artist, you guys make sure you're following him. All of your your channel art needs. Any YouTubers out there that need shit done, Foy is the man for it. Bitch, it costs to play with the boss, so don't come at him with none of that free shit.
It
Okay.
costs a plate.
come
There's none of
on.
that free shit. Please.
Hello,
I had to
God.
let one bitch know, okay? No.
Yes, God. Hey. Okay. Floyd, thank you so much for being on here. I was actually like, are you gonna express? And you expressed. You expressed.
I like to thank my sponsor here.
Ah,
My sponsor gave me the liquid courage.
yeah,
Yes.
His
thank
name
you,
is
everyone.
awesome.
But it is awesome. It's always awesome. It's always a blessing to literally be on here with you guys and to speak with like-minded folks and just to have a little outlet. I'm just thankful and humble to, you know, be talking to every single one of y'all because to me, y'all some heavy hitters.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
y'all some very heavy hitters, and it's just a privilege.
I just
That's
smoke
all.
my cigarettes, bitch, and talk shit. Okay. Well, I
You know,
appreciate you for it. Thank you so much. It's me, D. I know that I've obviously had challenges today with this technology, but I believe that's karma. At your voodoo connection over there, I'm obviously dealing with some voodoo connection over here as well. And I appreciate you coming in and rolling with the struggles of fucking StreamYard, bitch, and sharing in your experience. And
Right.
again, being public, this is live. I don't give a fuck how many people see this. Just like to be able to tell you guys our deepest, darkest, and put a little entertainment and a little laughter on there. Although most of us may have been laughing at these stories, looking back in retrospect, but they truly affected us. So again, thank you guys for having the strength to come up here and speak your truth. So it's me, D. Thank you so much, and hopefully you guys will be joining us again for another episode soon in the future. Scotty, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Justice League in the building coming through. Thank you so much for relaying the message to Jamar. Thank you. I really do appreciate it because this was everything, bitch. And I know I say that with a lot of
Yes,
shit, but this
sir.
was everything. Again, guys, this
I told you now, I got to bring my friend along now. I told you I got to bring him along with me sometime now.
yes, God, honey. Yes, God, honey. Again, I do appreciate everyone for fuck.
Ow.
I appreciate you guys for joining this episode of the Yes Gods Roundtable, honey, a space created to connect our community through our shared experiences as Black gay men. Hopefully, you guys got something out of this. I know I did. I've learned a lot of things about my fellow panel and a lot of relation there, definitely. Again, if you guys are having issues, anything needs to happen, please feel free to hit the email up. You can hit us up. If you have questions about certain stuff, please feel free to reach out. If you're not sure about certain things, there's a lot of young gays that may be going through some shit, or someone might know a young gay going through some shit. Point them in the direction of the Yes God Roundtable, honey, because we are here to serve the community, truth and justice, bitch. Okay. Now, you guys have a good night. And shout out to the Justice League members that were in the chat. Appreciate y'all supporting all the chat. Shawana, Belize, So Jeff, Pierre, everybody. I love the fuck out of y'all. Thank you so much. Good night and good fight. Be blessed and never stressed.